very good morning to all of you. Today our topic is K-map, which is also known as Carnot map. So first of all, we need to understand that what is the need of K-map. So we have basically two methods to solve any Boolean function. One is through simplification. For that we use the properties, and the another way of solving any Boolean expression is through K-map. So here we can see that simplification of Boolean function leads to simpler, usually faster digital circuits. For designing the digital circuits, we usually use Boolean functions, and simplifying those Boolean functions using identities is somewhat time consuming and error prone. As I have already said that one of the way of solving any Boolean function is through identities, which is time consuming. So we have another easy way of solving any Boolean expression, that is through the K-map. So in 1953, Maurice Carnot was a telecommunication engineer at Bell Labs. So during the design of the digital logic circuits, he found a new field, that is he found a new method to solve the Boolean expressions, and that method was graphical representation, and that graphical representation was named as Carnot map or K-map in his honor. So basically, here comes the main definition of a K-map. A K-map is basically a matrix of rows and columns. A K-map is a matrix consisting of rows and columns that represent the output values of a Boolean expression, right? The output values placed in each cell are derived from the minterms of the Boolean function. Here I can represent a K-map in the form of a matrix here. Here we can see that if I have two variables x and y in a Boolean function. Suppose I have a function having two variables x, y, and the expression for this function is like this. So how we can represent this function in a form of a matrix? K-map is generally a matrix having rows and column, and this each square is called as a cell. This cell is used to insert the minterm or the max term. Each cell contains either the minterm or the max term. We will further discuss what are minterms and max term. A minterm is a product term that contains all of the function's variables exactly once, either in the complemented or not complemented form. So here, as I said, we have a function f having two variables x and y, and the expression is like this: x y bar plus x bar y. Now this is a minterm because this term contains both the variables of the function either in the direct form or in the complemented form. So this is called as the minterm, and this minterm will be placed in one of these cells. We will show how these cells are created. And then another minterm is this. Here the variable x is in the complemented form, as well as the variable y is also in the complemented form. So this expression can be solved with the help of a matrix known as K-map. Here we can see, like for example, the minterms for the function having the inputs x and y are, now suppose we have two variables x and y. So two variables can have the possible values, binary values 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Always remember that when we talk about minterm, we represent the variable a, which is in direct form, as the value 1, and if we represent a variable in its complemented form, then its value is 0 when we talk about minterms. So here we can see that for xy variables there can be four possible minterms, four possible alternatives. X bar, y bar means x and y both are in the complemented form, so the term will be 0, 0. Then x bar y. X bar y means x is in the complemented term but y is in the direct term. So it will be 0 and 1. Similarly, x is in direct form, that is 1. Y is in complemented form, that is 0. X, y, both the variables are in the direct form, so it is 1 and 1. So this is how we create minterms, and now we will learn that how these minterms will be placed in the K-map, and further can we reduce this expression using K-map? Like we have a function x, y and we have the possible alternatives, but out of these possible alternatives we have reduced our function to these two minterms through K-map. This is how we are going to solve. Similarly, if I have a function having 3 inputs, something like this, f is a 3 variable function x, y, z, something like this, x bar, y bar, z bar, or x, y bar, z bar, or x bar, y, z bar, and so on. Okay? Now how we can represent these minterms? What will be the values of these minterms? Okay? So there is a general formula that if we have n variable function, then we will have 2 raised to the power n entries in K-map, or 2 raised to the power n minterms, right? For example, यहाँ पर हमारे पास we have a 3 variable function. So 2 raised to the power 3, that is 8. So in a total there will be 8 minterms to be represented in a 3 variable K-map having 8 cells. Correct? So this is when all these variables x, y, z are in the complemented form. So how we will write this? X bar, y bar, z bar. Taking another example, if x only is in complemented form but y and z are in the direct form, so the expression of minterm will be x bar, y, z. Similarly, if all the 3 variables x, y and z are in the direct form, then the expression will be x, y, z. This is how we can say that if I have a 3 variable function, then in total I have 2 raised to the power 3, that is 8 minterms possible. A K-map has a cell for each minterm. Now see here how we are substituting these minterms into this K-map. How we are creating a K-map from these minterms, right? So we have the following minterms here: x bar, y bar, x bar, y for this. Then third is x, y bar, and another is x and y. So here we have a K-map of 4 entries because we have 2 variables, so 2 raised to the power 2, that is 4 minterms and 4 cells in the K-map. Here we represent one variable on one side of the K-map and another variable on the other side of the K-map. So here in the column side we are representing the possible values of x. X can take only 0 or 1, and here in the row side we are again representing y in the possible 2 values, that is 0 and 1. Now how this x bar, y bar will be substituted? X bar, y bar means both x is 0 and y is 0. So when x is 0, y is 0, so the product of x comma y will be 0. Similarly, when x is 0 and y is 1, so x multiply y, that is xy is equal to 0. Again, when x is 1 and y is 0, the resultant is 0. Both are 1, so x multiply y will be 1. So if we map these minterms over here, what will be the expression? X bar, y bar will come in this cell, then x bar, y will come in this cell, then x, y bar, and here we will get x, y. So this is how these minterms are being portrayed in the K-map cell entries. The same example we are taking but with a different binary operation, that is plus. Here this is x plus y, x bar plus y, x plus y bar, and x plus y. This is how we are representing these minterms, and in a similar way we are filling these cell values on the basis of these minterms here. These are the values of these minterms. These minterms we are mapping here in the K-map. Now, the next very important purpose of this K-map is that while we are mapping these minterms over here in the K-map, we need to reduce that Boolean expression with the help of K-map. In the next slide, we will further find out the use of this K-map and how we can simplify this K-map. Now, in K-map, what we do, we select adjacent ones as group. Okay? The best way of selecting two group of ones form our simple K-map is shown here in the example. We see that both the group are power of 2 and that the groups overlap. In this K-map, in order to solve a Boolean expression, first of all, we map each cell entry with a minterm of the Boolean expression, and the next step is that we try to find out the grouping of adjacent ones such that the grouping of the size of the group should be equal to 2 raised to the power n, where n is equal to n is equal to 0, 1, 2 and so on. Generally we take up to 4 variable K-map. So here if 2 raised to the power 0, that is 2, means a group size of 2 adjacent ones we can take. If we have 2 raised to the power 1, 2 raised to the power, this is 0, 1, 2 raised to the power 1 is equal to 2. This is grouping of 2 adjacent cells. 2 raised to the power 2, that is a grouping of 4 adjacent ones. 2 raised to the power 3, that is 8, a grouping of 8 adjacent ones. Okay? Now in this example, we have a 2 variable K-map, so we have the grouping of 2 adjacent ones here. One of the grouping is this shown by the green shade, and one of the grouping that we can create is the horizontal pink shade area. Now there is an important point to consider here is that we can only take horizontal or vertical grouping, but we cannot go for the diagonal grouping. This is wrong. If we cannot go for diagonal grouping of adjacent ones, we can only take either vertical or horizontal grouping of adjacent ones, and those adjacent ones group can be of the size 2 raised to the power n, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, but we generally take up to 3, that is a 4 variable K-map having 16 cells, right? So here is a summarization of the rules for the K-map simplification. Grouping can contain only ones and no zeros. Only one in case of when we are talking about min term, and when we are talking about max term we can take number of zeros. But here we are talking about only min terms right now. Groups can be formed only at right angles. Diagonal groups are not allowed, as I discussed in the previous slide. the number of ones in a group must be a power of 2 even if it contains a single one, that is 2 raised to the power 0, that is only a single element, right? The group must be made as large as possible. Okay? If you have, suppose, what does this line mean? If I have a K map like this having all 4 entries as 1, okay? So I have to make the grouping. One possible way is that I should create grouping of 2 adjacent ones like this. But what the rule says, the groups must be made as large as possible. So instead of a grouping of 2, here in this matrix I have an option to create a group of adjacent 4 ones. So which is a bigger one than the grouping of 2 adjacent ones. So I will take this as my final solution for simplification. So if I have a grouping of 2 adjacent ones and in the same figure I have a grouping of 4 adjacent ones, then I have to give preference to the 4 adjacent group, that is the larger group. Groups can overlap and wrap around in the sides of the K-map. What does this mean? If I have an entry like this 1 1 1 1, we can have a grouping of 4 here like this. This is the edges of the K-map. We can combine the number of ones, adjacent ones in this way also. And further we have to simplify these groupings. This is the ultimate solution that we get out of the K-map. We will show in the further slides. Here we have a K-map for 3 variables, right? We have a function f having variables x, y and z either in the complemented form or in the direct form. If we have a 3 variable K-map, then how many entries will be there in the K-map? That is 2 raised to the power 3, 8 cells or 8 min terms are possible in the K-map. Here are the 8 entries for the min terms. Here, first entry, how we will form this first entry? X, y and z. Both, all the 3 are in the complemented form. So here we write x bar, y bar and z bar. Second term, here x is in the complemented form. So we have written x bar here. Y is also in the complemented form. We have written y bar. And 1 is in the direct form. So we have here a z in the direct form. Now how this numbering is done? This is generally called as the gray code. You have to learn it. 0 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0, right? Here we have 2 variables, so the possible combinations will be these 4. Here x is a single variable that can have only either 0 or 1 value. So this is how a K-map is created for 3 variables. So this first row of this K-map where x is 0, these are the min terms, and in the second row for which x value is 1, these are the min terms. Now see here, we have a function xy. This is a 3 variable function xyz. We have to represent this function in this K-map, and then we need to find out the largest grouping of adjacent ones, right? Here we have created this K-map x bar, y bar, z. So where this min term will be placed? X bar, y bar and z. So this will be x bar, y bar, z. Next term is x bar, y, z. That is 0, 1, 1. So x is 0 here and yz are 1, 1. So this will be x bar, y, z. Again x is 1 because it is in direct form, y bar and z. So that will be 1 0 1. Here it is x y bar z, and the next is x y z. Now how we can create the largest grouping of ones? This is the possible largest grouping of ones, that is a group of 4 adjacent ones. So the purpose of this K map is that through this K map we will simplify or we will further reduce this Boolean expression by this grouping. So how we solve this grouping? That see here, the value of x is 0 and 1. It is changing. It is not fixed, so we cannot take x. Now we can see the value of yz. Here yz, we can see yz is having values 0, 1 and 1, 1. Here we can see again y variable is also not fixed. It is changing. It is 0 or 1. So we are not sure that which value we have to take. But as we see z here, we can see that z is fixed in both the cases. So this grouping is named as z, and we can say that we have simplified this Boolean expression to a single term, that is z. This is the answer for this expression, Boolean expression. This complete Boolean expression is being reduced to z with the help of this 3 variable K map. As you can see here, in the green portion we have shown the largest group of 4 adjacent ones, and this expression is getting reduced to z. Similarly, we have another Boolean expression, 3 variable Boolean expression. We have mapped all these minterms in the K map at the following positions. Now we have to find out the possible groupings, largest possible groupings of the adjacent ones, so that we can reduce this group. As we can see here, one possible grouping is this shown by the green area, 4 adjacent ones, and as I said also that on the edges of the K map also we can have groups. So here one more grouping of 4 adjacent one is this. Now how to simplify these 2 groupings? We can simplify these 2 groupings. If we talk about this grouping, the green area where x value is 0 for every minterm, so x is taken as x bar, right? But here we can see that yz values are changing in every minterm, so we cannot take yz variable. So this green area is named as only x bar. So you can see that these 4 minterms get reduced to only a single minterm. Okay? Another 4 variable 4 adjacent mapping is this. How we can rename it? As we can see, x value is 0 and 1. It is not fixed, so we have to ignore it. And then we have to see the yz value from here and yz value from here. Yz values are 0, 0 and 1, 0. Again we can see that y is not fixed, so we have to ignore y. We have to take only z, and z is in 0 form, so it is reduced to z bar. So ultimately we can see that the expression, Boolean expression of our question, this Boolean expression of our question get reduced to only 2 terms, that is x bar and x bar plus z bar. This is how we solve or we reduce the Boolean expression with the help of K maps. In the similar way, we have a 4 variable K map, x, y, w, z. We have 4 variables here, and in the K map we are showing 2 variables in the column side and 2 variables in the row side, having the possible values 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0, and similarly these values are portrayed here, and this is how we have created a minterm K map here. we have a 4 variable K-map expression given here, and we have filled the cells with the 1 entries corresponding to these midterms, and we have to now make the grouping of the possible largest group. So one of the possible largest group I can see here is this one, right? Then next is this one, and also this one. This is the possible grouping of adjacent ones. As you can see here in this is the pink area, the adjacent group of 4 ones. Then the diagonal elements group of 4 ones shown by the green area, and this is a grouping of 2 adjacent ones. And when we will solve these 3 shaded areas, what we get is an expression like this, and this is how our Boolean expression got reduced to these 3 terms only. So this was all about K-map. That K-map are basically used to simplify or reduce a given Boolean expressions. Thank you.